Welcome into another exciting season of Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis. I've got to be on my toes to start this season as the Lady Eagles off to an 8-5 start on the year, heading into conference play already with a conference game in their hip pocket. And we start in this segment, Joye, just kind of catching everybody up to speed on what has been going on. And let's start at the beginning. 7-1 start out of the gate for this Lady Eagle team that I think came out and really established their identity to start the season in the first 8 games.
You know, we really did, Josh. We played hard, which that's still our identity. You know, we used our full court defenses to be able to create easy buckets for us offensively, you know, and we played with the sense of urgency. And I think that allowed our defense to generate our offense. Unfortunately, we've kind of hit a wall here where we've struggled in shooting the basketball. We shot the ball very well early. You know, we were able to make the easy bunny shots. Now we're missing them, and now it's become a mental side. But I think that you take, and we have to remind them and show them clips of the exciting times, the times that they were doing things right, the times that they were feeling good about themselves. You know, the times that Brittany Dinkins was scoring 18 plus. And so, again, I just think that, you know, as coaching staff, we've got to continue to encourage them because it's not like we forgot what we were doing or we forgot shooting the ball. Yes, did our competition get a little tougher? Indeed. You play Mississippi State, the 5th ranked team in the country. Then you play California, that's ranked in the top 25. And against those two teams, it makes it difficult for anybody. Both of those teams are Final Four contenders. I will be honest with you. I really think those two teams kind of destroyed our confidence a little bit, to be very honest with you. We bounced back, though. We played Xavier, a team that we should not beat, that's getting votes in the top 25, that's leading the Big East at that time, and we beat them, and we beat them solid. And that was unbelievable how we played. We played less than 24 hours against a Northern Kentucky team that shot the cover off the ball, and the Lady Eagles could not shoot the ball. You know, then again at La Tech, we struggled in shooting the basketball. So I'm going to say this, Josh. It seems like to us that it's been a long time since we've made shots, but really it's just been a 2-game streak that has really stumped us. The other games, you know, you kind of have to say, yeah, Mississippi State's a 5th ranked team in the country. They're pretty doggone good. Cal is the largest team we played, and they're pretty doggone good. So, again, those 2 games you can say, oh, okay. But, again, when you win Xavier, you know that you have a very good basketball team. You lose to Northern Kentucky, and you know you're not an awful team by any means. You're somewhere in between. So we start our road swing. We go to Louisiana Tech, Josh, and then we could not buy a bucket. 7 missed layups in the first quarter, and you have a chance to be able to be in the ball game at the end. But again, missed layups, missed free throws, will get you every time.
Let's talk a little bit more about the confidence factor. We'll talk in particular in the coming segments about Louisiana Tech and about the road swing and about particular players, but let's talk team as a whole. There was one particular play in the Louisiana Tech game, and you'll know which one I'm referring to, where the shot clock's winding down and nobody wants the basketball, and it was a late thrown up shot by Shantae Hales as the shot clock was expiring, and it was a violation, and that speaks to the mental wall that the players are trying to fight through right now.
It does, and you know, Brittany Dinkins should take the shot. But she's like, Coach, I'm not shooting, I'm not hitting, I got to get rid of the ball. And then a freshman has to really step up and take some ownership. That can't happen for us to be able to be successful. You know, our upperclassmen can't depend on the freshmen to put us on her back and make things happen. And, you know, she's playing very well right now, our freshman is. But then again, those upperclassmen have got to take some ownership.
What was, for when you as a player, this is a chance for you to draw back for you and some of your teammates and some of the things that you did and what you've seen throughout the years, that next shot as a shooter, it's going in. That's got to be the mindset. How do you get there?
You know, but again, Josh, I think that's so true. But I also think proper preparation prevents poor performance. And, you know, it's like studying for a test. If you don't put in the time to study for the exam and you don't know the first 2 answers of the test, you go into panic mode. Now you don't think you're going to know the 3rd one. Now you don't think you're going to know the 4th one, and you're in panic mode. And we've done a lot of shooting. But again, you can't go through the motions. You know, you got to step up and concentrate. And when you properly prepare mentally, because truly that's what it is with us right now is mentally. When you properly prepare mentally, you may miss the first one, then you're going to make the second one because you're mentally prepared. Right now, we're struggling in the mental preparation of it.
To wrap this segment and talk about an area where the Lady Eagles have really mentally done a nice job, they do not let their, let's say, lack of height, being vertically challenged, bother them whatsoever. They play with a tenacity and a grit that really is endearing to Lady Eagle fans. It's been a joy to watch.
They do. They play really hard. And, we've got a good group of girls that they want to be successful. They want to win. They want to make it happen. And they've really played with, we played 3 games in 3 days in Vegas. That's hard. That's hard for anybody. And then we come back and then we play at La Tech. And then the way the ball bounces for us, we played first 5 of our 7 games on the road. And again, you got to remember, this is the team that struggled on the road last year, and all those kids are returning. So again, that's a mental block. So we've got to overcome some mental blocks and to be able to help us. So if there's any sports psychologist out there that want to volunteer some time and get some hours, give me a buzz here at the Lady Eagle basketball office, because we will welcome you in helping us overcome the mental block.
Well, this is a team that's certainly a group of overcomers. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Louisiana Tech game. We'll also look ahead to the big road trip, UTSA and UTEP, the Texas two-step, as Coach McNelis likes to call it. We'll take a break. Back after this, you're watching Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis.
Taste the feeling.
As we continue on Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye McNelis, the Lady Eagles, as we touched on in the beginning, opened up conference play at Louisiana Tech. And Joye, this was a ball game for the Lady Eagles where they were able to have a nice little run at the end of the opening quarter, but just for long stretches of the basketball game, shot anywhere from 2 for 11, 0 for 8, another 2 for 11. As you touched on at the top, the easy shots weren't going. Therefore, the long shots that were open, Lady Eagles were a little gun shy and just never could get a lead in the second half to get over the hump.
We have the game, and I think it's a 6-point game, and we have a breakaway layup, and we miss it. And in turn, making it a 4-point game, I think it was 36-30 at the time, rather than making it a 4-point game, they go down and hit a 3-ball. They get a no board, 3-ball, and now you're down 9. There were plays like that throughout the game where you're talking about trying to get over the hump. We were just almost there, but then we would miss an easy shot or we would miss a box out. And, the players were frustrated with it, as well as our coaching staff. And again, that's just where we've really, as a staff, got to work on the psyche of it, of being able to step up and knock down some shots. I met with them before the Louisiana Tech game, and I talked about I met with them individually, and I talked about things that you can control that will bring you energy. Shooting the basketball was not an option. Okay, that couldn't be one of the things. It had to be hustle plays, diving on the floor after loose balls, getting an offensive rebound, getting an and one. That's the only shot that you could take was an and one. Getting a defensive rebound and pitching it ahead for a quick break, stepping in, taking a charge, getting a steal, those kind of things. And so every player talked about things that energize them, and each of them picked 2 things, and we will do that again. There are 2 things. They have to be responsible for the 2 things that will energize them, to try to take their mind, Josh, off of just shooting, and so, I thought that we saw some pretty good signs of that. Shantae Hales being obviously one of them that was the star of the game and really played extremely well. Played with a lot of leadership, really took the team, put it on her shoulder, made some spectacular plays, Josh. Plays that you learn from playing in the backyard. Just a great job. And, so now with her on track, we've got to now get some of the others on track because she wasn't on track when our veterans were. So, again, I think once we can get it all to come together, B. Dink says we got to have Reed Green. I said, well, B. Dink, guess what? We got a couple more games before we play in Reed Green. It's not Reed Green. We cannot have that mentality because I will say this, Brittany Dinkins has shot the ball extremely well since we've been back in Reed Green. So we can't have the Reed Green magic with us at Texas San Antonio and at UTEP. So the flip side of that, the mental aspect of that, we've got to be able to press on and be resilient and show true perseverance.
Just a couple of follow-up questions. Great answer there. And one of those being when you talked about the things that energize this team. It's a Lady Eagle team right now that is top 15 in the country in steals, in turnovers forced per game. Those have been mainstays against La Tech, against Mississippi State, against Cal, against some of the best teams in the country. What does that say about this team? Because they've been leaning on that this year.
It has. Our defense has been our mainstay. It's been our rock. Now we'll tell you against La Tech it wasn't the greatest by any means. But I think, what happens to us is we get focused in on working against zones and different defenses people play us, and then you think your defense is a mainstay, so then you might not quite focus on that in a couple of segments of practice, and then we take some step back. So we did take a step back defensively against Louisiana Tech. However, we will rebound on that because we have prepared for that. And that has been our mainstay. And again, Josh, that goes back to energy and effort. And this team has brought that to us, and we've got to continue to build on that. And we've got to go back and refocus in on who we really are. And then I think things will fall into place.
Beating scoring has fallen off a little bit, but she continues to fill up the stat sheet really at kind of unprecedented paces in terms of steals and rebounding, assists. She's doing a little bit of everything, and she has to be the leader of this team.
And she's really, really played. She's had a very good senior year. Now, in the last 4 ball games, she's not shot the ball very well at all. Has really kind of lost a little focus and honestly lost a little bit of her confidence. And so those are the things that she's got to continue to build on it. And she is. She's bothered by it, and she's one of those players that wants to do something about it. She realizes that her senior year is coming to a close. LaShira Cotton is another one of those that, kind of feels the pressure that it's coming to an end, and she wants it to be different. And you can tell that of how well Shy has really played since the Christmas break and how well she has practiced. Her focus, her intensity has been a whole lot different. But again, B. Dink, no doubt, has been the one that has played extremely well and the most consistent for us.
And then in closing, Shantae Hales, you talked about the things that she learned on a playground and the intangibles that she brings to the stage and to the floor, and just little things like being able to get into the body of a defender and create contact and get to the free throw line, things you can't teach.
Well, and that's exactly right. And, she got that 3 ball where she got in there and got into the defender and then got to shoot the free throws. And she does a great job. Against Cal, let's go back to Cal. She's going up one-on-one with the 6'7" athlete, gets into the 6'7" athlete, and finishes the shot off of contact. It was unbelievable. She did that multiple times against Louisiana Tech. And again, she played for a great high school coach and Coach Gina Skelton, and really matured her as a player. And I will tell you, she has continued to make progress in what we're asking her to do and what she really and truly is willing to do. And I think that's a big difference for Shantae Hales.
It's only going to be a matter of time before Shantae Hales captures a Conference USA Freshman of the Week nod. She was a finalist this week, 27 points at Louisiana Tech, and we also don't want to fail to mention that B. Dink, now the 25th member of the 1,000-point club at Southern Miss. We'll take a break, come back, get Coach's thoughts about Brittany Dinkins joining that exclusive club, and we'll also look ahead to UTSA and UTEP. You're watching Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel. Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
It's another at the 20, 15, gets a block, cuts back in, touchdown. His body got a foot down for a Golden Eagle touchdown. finds Mike, goes up. Short of slant, Trent Taylor, but he's going to be brought down for a loss.
As we wrap this edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis, Lady Eagles are heading on one of the two Texas two-steps. Craig, our producer, reminds me of that it's also North Texas and also Rice. Okay, but again, we've got UTSA and UTEP. That's all our focus is on. And these are two teams that are going to play very similar, up and down the floor, high energy. These are going to be very entertaining ball games. These are also two games Lady Eagles have an opportunity to go on the road and win.
You know, we've got to play better than what we have in the last two ball games, obviously. We watched UTEP and UTSA play each other yesterday, and you know, UTSA ended up winning that game in OT. Heck of a barn burner. And so UTSA's 1-0. UTEP's like us, 0-1 in the league. But I will tell you, both teams are very well coached. Coach Keitha does a tremendous job, and Coach Luby does an absolutely wonderful job as well. Those kids play hard. They play hard just like we do, you know, and they're going to get up and they're going to grind. And, you know, it's going to be a defensive battle. Both coaches really believe in their defensive efforts. And they both have a couple of stars. I mean, Sparkle Taylor took over the game against UTSA in a stretch where UTEP was down 14 points. And Sparkle Taylor for UTEP says, "I will not be denied." Then you come back, and then it's Lauren Goodwin from UTSA. She would not be denied. Then you've got Schittemeyer that would not be denied. And then you've got Tessa Smith, the unbelievable athlete that can jump out of the gym for UTSA that is solid as a rock. And then you've got Saday that is also for UTEP that had her flashes. That's their big 6'4" post player inside. So again, you had some key players that played big roles in both of those games. The Lady Eagles have got to really bring our A game on the road and mentally got to get off to a good start.
All right, two more questions. One of those being, we'll save Brittany Dinkins for the last, but this one, you touched on so many of the talented players for both UTSA and UTEP. I know our fans would like to know anything you can share with us in terms of matchups. What can you share with us about how we match up with those teams, maybe some of our personnel?
You know, UTSA, it's going to be Tessa Smith and Jayla King. I mean, that's the matchup there. And, you know, honestly, they both play extremely hard. They both play very similar. Now, Tessa Smith is a better athlete, meaning running and jumping, than Jayla is. She's just more gifted. Lauren Goodwin is, again, it's going to be a matchup with Brittany Dinkins. And again, you know, it's going to be a battle between them. You know, then you've got Schittemeyer, which is number 4 that plays for them, that plays their 3-4 spot, that is solid as a rock, that killed us last year. Again, Megan Brown's going to get that matchup. You're going to have LaShira Cotton that's going to be in that matchup, that's really got to be able to step up and really guard her, because I'm telling you, she's very, very good. Then you look at UTEP, and you've got Sparkle Taylor that can really step up and put a team on her shoulder. Again, that's a Brittany Dinkins has really got to step up and guard her. Sadea, the post player inside, again, that's got to be a Jayla King. We can't guard her one-on-one. I'm just going to be honest with you. We've got to double quick. Same thing with Tessa Smith. We've got to come off of somebody, and we've got to be ready to double, because we can't guard either one of those post players by themselves. Then again, what the UTEP has, you know, that's their 2 star players, but I'm going to tell you, they have some role players, Josh, that really step in and really fulfill those other spots. And they're good. They're really, really good. They just don't have the flashes that Sparkle Taylor has. They're very, very good, and they're very, very solid. Again, on the flip side of that, UTSA has their downtown shooters. They're 4 players, and they have a 3 player, Josh, that can flat out shoot the basketball. So again, both teams are very, very good. They're very well coached, and it's going to be a tough matchup for us. It really is. We've just got to overcome, and we've got to come together as a unit. Again, I really like the energy and the enthusiasm and the team effort of our practices that we've had thus far. And so, again, we've just got to take that on the road as we lead into the Texas two-step.
And with Brittany Dinkins leading the way, the latest 1,000-point score here at Southern Miss, 25th member of that list. She's already moving up. She'll be in the top 20 before her career is done, and maybe inside the top 15. You can't say enough about the type of career she's going to end up putting together.
You know, the thing about Brittany Dinkins is, you know, she came in as a freshman. She was a starter. You know, she ended up becoming a role player, coming off the bench as a sophomore. And so many of those kids, when things get tough, it's real easy to walk away and quit. It really is. But I'm so proud of Brittany Dinkins, because right then and there, she could have walked away. she could have walked away. But she stayed true to the course, and she stayed true to the grind. And because of that, now she's enjoying success. And I truly believe those types of individuals not only prepare yourself for success now, but it prepares you for success in life. And I'm really proud of Brittany Dinkins.
For Craig Adams and for Coach McNelis, I'm Josh West. Until next time, you've been watching Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis.